April 7th, 2026. I am Twyla Thompson with the details. Sailing Week in St. Vincent and the Grenadines culminated yesterday after 9 days of events across the islands. But behind the spectacle, questions remain about whether the economic benefits are truly reaching local communities. We hear more in this report.
From mainland St. Vincent, Canouan and on Bequia, where Sailing Week and Easter Regatta was held, the event delivered thrilling races, beautiful beach scenes and an influx of visitors.
It's Keenan Camacho from Trinidad and Tobago. My brand is Energy Zone, which is a wellness company. We are here in Bequia to explore and to see the Sailing Week also.
Event coordinator of Sailing Week, Aina Brown, says this year's participant numbers improved from last year.
We had 23 boats registered, 23 yachts. However, some had some unfortunate incidences and didn't make it. But officially, we had 15 boats competing this year in the Bequia Easter Regatta.
And this is compared to how many last year?
We had 11 last year.
It was fun for the children, with Easter egg hunts, coconut boat races, onshore activities, yacht races, and the popular double-ender boat races, especially for the people of Bequia.
The Bequia Easter Regatta is part of our life. Growing up as a child, I remember at such a young age looking forward to this sailing. My family and I, my brothers and stuff, we used to be taking part in the crazy craft and in the gunboat racing and in the small coconut boat racing. So as we grow older now, we're trying our best to start in the double enders, go a little bigger and a little bigger, to keep the tradition alive in Bequia, because Bequia Easter Regatta is sailing.
While the waters of the Grenadines came alive this week, for many small business owners, the influx of visitors offered a critical economic boost. But some vendors say the benefits are uneven.
Some go back to the people here, but not much. So I think they need to do a little bit more. But to be honest, last season was better. This season is a little bit shaky, but still I'm thankful.
Organizers will be going back to the drawing board to see how best they could improve Easter Regatta here in Bequia and Sailing Week 2027.
So we didn't meet our goal we had set for ourselves, but we have surpassed that of last year, and there's still room for growth, and it's our intent to obviously pursue those opportunities to ensure that next year's regatta we succeed. And the Prime Minister said yesterday that before they had 52 boats, so that's our aim for next year, trying to get back to those days.
Brown says her team will begin planning in 2 weeks' time, as Sailing Week 2027 is scheduled for March 21st to the 29th. For SVG-TV News, Larissa Pugsley-Kidd.
Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. Godwin Friday spent some time attending the Easter events that concluded yesterday in Bequia. While witnessing the second day of the double-ender boat races at Friendship Bay on Saturday, Dr. Friday, who is also the area representative, said there is still more work to be done and to return the Easter Regatta to its former glory.
Satisfied with the participation and overall?
Not entirely. I mean, we know we're rebuilding. You know, I'm really very happy that the guys are showing the zeal and the enthusiasm. But they themselves know that, you know, we want to have more competitive races. You want to have more boats taking part, like these fellas here who used to race all the time, and they get up in the morning ready to go race. So we're getting there. There are a lot of young sailors coming up.
However, Dr. Friday said he is encouraged by the strong support and passion being shown for the Easter Regatta, particularly the double-ender races.
Happy to see that we are out here, and you know, so many of the sailors are out taking part, and looking forward to revealing it the way it used to be. Well, that is the uniqueness about our regatta. You know, these boats, they started out as traditional whaling boats. I remember as a boy we used to watch them take off, but those boats used to function as fishing boats, and then they sail during the regatta.
The Vincy Mas media launch got underway today as the Carnival Development Corporation, CDC, prepares for the official launch on Friday, April 11th. Chairman of the CDC, Ricardo Adams, said this year's theme, The Great Escape, is fitting for the 2026 Carnival season. He noted that today's media launch formed part of a promotional tour to Wally Lebu.
And we are calling it this year, The Great Escape. Now, what does that mean? It means a release from the pressures of daily life. It's a return to pure joy, to our rich culture, and to the energy and connections that make us who we are. This is where the world meets St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and more importantly, where we come back to meeting who we are. Your CDC has been working with a very specific mindset. We are organized, we are forward-thinking, and we are execution-driven. We aren't just putting on shows, we are building a product, a brand, and a lasting legacy.
Adams says patrons can expect exciting changes this year, with several events taking on a fresh approach. He also highlighted the return of the Miss SVG pageant to this year's Carnival lineup.
We're bringing some incredible new energy to the season. We're bringing a 10-day food and cultural village, because you can't have mass without the best flavors of SVG. We're bringing immersive activations. From the moment you land at the airport to the experiential zones in our communities, the carnival vibe will be everywhere. We're taking the energy to our rural carnivals, and we're going to be doing a lot stronger collaboration with the official rurals this year to ensure that the rurals are a true taste of what is to come for Vincy Mas. And we have the return of the Miss SVG into the period where it traditionally used to be, just before the actual Vincy Mas.
We will have more on today's media launch in tomorrow's news. Agriculture Minister highlights Nigerian visits, eyes new financing opportunities for farmers. This and other stories coming up when we return with more local news. Stay with us.
Welcome to Sister.
Welcome to the upgraded C-Star Limited,
Where we offer to almost all your household items.
They've expanded their range to sofas, dining and patio sets, beds and mattresses, wardrobes, kitchen cabinets, office furniture. That's just a few from the luxurious collection. Not forgetting their signature quality windows, doors, rails, and bathroom enclosures. Journey on up to C-Star, where their friendly sales clerk is happy to assist. C-Star Limited, where quality meets style.
A funeral service should be one that you can be proud of. One that leaves lasting memories of your loved ones. And that's where you need the New Haven Funeral Home. We are proud of the quality and class we have brought to the industry. We are proud for having trained the very first certified embalmers in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are proud of leading the way in terms of live streaming of funerals online so that your family members overseas could also be part of the celebration of life. We are constantly improving our services. We are driven by customer satisfaction, and we are proud of all that we do.
New Haven Funeral Home.
On Tuesday, April 7th, you can be a millionaire with a lotto jackpot of $1,040,000. Your dream vacation, a university degree, that new ride, your new house can all suddenly be within your reach. What a Little Lotto can do. $1,040,000. The Lotto jackpot for Tuesday, April 7th. You have to be in it to win it.
Listen, the big hardware stores have been ripping off Vincentians for years with their high prices. They came General Hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood, and steel. And even with a sale, the General beats that too. So go on, compare prices, then come to General Hardware and save dollars every day. Because nobody beats the General. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnesville. Call 453-9000.
Welcome back. Minister of Agriculture, Forestry and Rural Transformation, Honorable Israel Bruce, speaking at a news conference, reported on his recent visit to Abidjan, Nigeria, from March 23rd to the 28th, 2026, where he attended the Aquarian Council's Afro-Caribbean Investment Summit. The ministers said the visit was coordinated by Nigerian Aquarian Consult in conjunction with the government of St. Kitts and Nevis and brought together agriculture minister from the Caribbean, Nigeria, and other neighboring African countries. Minister Bruce explained that the meeting focused on several critical areas for advancing agriculture in both the Caribbean and Africa. In terms of outcomes, he noted that Caribbean representatives at week-long sessions aim to strengthen cooperation with Nigeria in ways that would benefit people involved in the agricultural sector, including those in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
The things that I said came out is the offering by the Agricultural Development Bank in Nigeria of a financial facility that would allow for Caribbean governments like St. Vincent and the Grenadines to be able to access financing through the Agricultural Bank to assist the farming or the agricultural sector here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Now, it is something that is available to us. It is for us to now further sit down with the Agricultural Bank of Nigeria to see what are the conditions of lending, what is the rates of lending, and to see the extent to which it is concessionary, so that we can borrow on concessionary terms and seek to on-lend to our farmers at concessionary rates.
The minister added that the engagement in Nigeria brought renewed attention to the local Farmers Support Company, an entity established to provide financial assistance to farmers through the revolving loan scheme. However, he acknowledged that the initiative has not functioned as intended. Minister Bruce said a potential collaboration could be developed between the Agriculture Bank of Nigeria and the National Development Bank, which the government plans to establish to better support local farmers.
To allow our National Development Bank to borrow from that under the agriculture.
Minister Bruce also indicated that discussions are underway with Afri-Brex Bank to explore how it could facilitate support for the proposed National Development Bank through seed financing aimed at boosting agricultural development in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Meanwhile, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Trade and Diaspora Affairs, Honorable Fitzgerald Bramble, has reported on his recent participation in the World Trade Organization, WTO, 14th Ministerial Conference in Cameroon, which brought together representatives from 150 countries, including 90 trade ministers from WTO member states. Reporting on the meeting via a video recording, Minister Bramble said trade ministers had an ambitious agenda for the 3-day conference. He noted that delegates were tasked with reaching agreement on several key matters, including a plan to reform the WTO to make it more relevant to current global realities and fit for purpose. Minister Bramble said progress was made on continued negotiations to reduce harmful subsidies that contribute to overfishing and overcapacity in an effort to better protect marine resources.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines is a small fishing nation which relies on its marine resources in its territorial waters as a source of employment, nutrition, and food security. Over the past 5 years, fish exports from St. Vincent and the Grenadines have declined by almost 90%. A combination of the impact of natural disasters, of course, and illegal fishing in our waters and on the unregulated high seas, which is enabled by harmful subsidies. Now, at MC14, St. Vincent and the Grenadines signed and became a party to the Fisheries Subsidies Agreement. So we are now fully a part of that, and that entitles us to technical assistance, to be able to monitor our fishing stock, to be able to map and monitor the data surrounding fishing, to help us to be able to deal with unregulated and unreported, illegal, unregulated and unreported fishing. So it's a very good mechanism for us to utilize to help to boost our blue economy, particularly fishing.
He also highlighted discussions on an agreement on investment facilitation for development, which he chaired the initiative and is aimed at modernizing government's approaches to attracting and managing foreign direct investment. Other areas of progress included increased support for developing countries in meeting food security and product standards for cross-border trade, as well as new decision to help small states better integrate into global trade, including opportunities in digital commerce. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of National Security, Honorable Sinclair Leacock, said on radio that he has received a formal report on the recent fire that destroyed the Calliaqua police station. Minister Leacock stated that the report indicates the fire was not of a nefarious nature, as some had speculated. However, he noted that the investigation process has not yet been fully completed.
It started somewhere downstairs with possibly with a malfunction piece of item. It's not deliberate, and the police didn't run out as people like to say and set the place on fire and leave it alone. That's not the case. You mischief yourself, But the thing is, the building was rotten. It's pitch pine. Boarded inside, so once you got a fire going there.
So it's an electronic fire?
It appears so. From a malfunction, it appears so.
Right.
It appears so. And I have to be limited in the detail I give as to the cause of the fire at this time.
Why? Why? Because there's nothing nefarious about it.
No, even the power company has given their report, the police have given theirs, and the electrical inspectors has given theirs. We are still doing the evaluation with a fine-teeth comb because we have to be absolutely sure.
Okay.
That we know.
When asked whether the Calliaqua police station will be rebuilt at its current location, the National Security Minister said that an alternative site is being considered. ECCB...
And the plan will be to build back in that location, at that spot?
No, it won't be at that spot. I don't think that will be the choice. Actually, there was an area that had been located a little further up the Glen Road there, below one of those food houses there, right, which has a good piece of land there. We were going to build a police station there. In any case, it seems now that it may be practical, and we have to go through these things methodically, right, that you can in fact switch, leave the police where they are in the town hall, and rebuild the town hall where you're going to the police station.
Okay.
That seems that will make good sense, but that depends on engineering, architects, right, and other consultations. But whatever it is, they will be in far better conditions than they were at the existing station.
ECCB warns about risks to the currency union from Middle East war. This from the region when we return. Stay with us.
The Ever-Ready Funeral Home at French's is your friend in times of grief. With over 40 years' experience, they are prepared to take care of all your funeral arrangements. Embalming, lowering device service, grave mattresses, carpeting, vaults, tombs and wreaths. Arrangements for television obituaries. Cremation is available upon request. Ever-Ready Funeral Home offers the finest in caskets and coffins, local and imported. So, in your time of need, call Ever-Ready Funeral Home at any time. 456-1494, Ever-Ready Funeral Home, offering service above self.
Quality products, quality care, low prices, great customer service, all at QCare Pharmacy. QCare leads the way, providing all your pharmaceutical needs, a variety of personal care products, and so much more. Located on Halifax Street. Telephone number 451-2690. QCare Pharmacy, where the Q stands for quality.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game. $200,000. That's the Super 6 jackpot for Saturday, April 4th. It's $200,000. More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
I may not like you.
You may not agree with me.
We may not believe the same things.
But that does not mean I have to hate
or discriminate.
Spread love, not hate.
A message from Equal Rights, Access and Opportunities, SVG Inc.
Welcome back. The Eastern Caribbean Central Bank is pointing to the downside risks to the currency union of the United States and Israel's war on Iran. Deputy ECCB Governor Valda Henry outlines the immediate shock from higher oil prices and explains what a protracted war could mean for the economies of the region. We hear more in this report.
The Eastern Caribbean Central Bank's Big Push initiative is at the heart of the bank's new 5-year strategic plan, which was launched under the theme, The Big Push, Collective Action for Shared Prosperity in the ECCU. 6 pillars define the plan.
Theme 1, maintaining monetary stability. Theme 2, preserving financial stability. Theme 3, advance payment modernization and financial inclusion. Theme 4, promote inclusive economic growth and partnerships. Theme 5, enable a digital and data-driven culture. Theme 6, enhance organizational effectiveness.
ECCB Governor Timothy Antoine says this is not just a bank policy, but a challenge to ECCU member countries to double the region's GDP by 2031 through collective action.
At its core, our plan does 3 things. It protects stability, enables transformation, and helps drive growth. The big push. As the Deputy Governor intimated, 3 years ago I asked the question, what will it take to double the size of our economies over the next decade? That question was a vision. Tonight, that vision becomes action.
Under the plan, steps to protect consumers are also being taken. The bank is launching an Office of Financial Conduct to oversee bank fees, charges, and modernize payments, ensuring fairer treatment for every customer.
First, monetary stability, which simply put is to keep our EC dollar strong. Everybody get that? Job number 1, keep our EC dollar strong. Job number 2, keep your deposits safe. That's financial stability. Under this plan, we will introduce deposit insurance to strengthen depositor protection.
Governor Antoine issued a blunt warning, noting that inaction is not neutral, but a recipe for economic decline. He pointed to issues such as stagnant productivity, declining populations, high food import bills, heavy reliance on fossil fuels, and climate risks that plague ECCU member countries and affect economic growth. He argued that for long-term success, the region must pivot its approach, especially in tourism, by focusing more on how much visitors spend rather than simply how many arrive.
The international news is coming up next. Stay with us.
Across our Caribbean, we're going digital, working smarter and living safer online.
In Dominica, we don't fall for fake prizes. We check before we click.
In Grenada, we verify before we share, keeping our hard-earned money safe from hackers.
In St. Lucia, we report cyberbullying, protecting our children and each other.
In St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we report scams fast, protecting our neighbors and our communities.
Together, we're building a cyber-smart Caribbean, keeping our people and our data safe, standing up to scams and cybercrime. We stay connected, but always alert. This message is brought to you by the Caribbean Digital Transformation Project. Stay smart, stay safe. Think Card TP. Visit cardtpconnect.org.
On Tuesday, April 7th, you can be a millionaire with a lotto jackpot of $1,040,000. Your dream vacation, a university degree, that new ride, your new house can all suddenly be within your reach. What a little lotto can do. $1,040,000. The lotto jackpot for Tuesday, April 7th. You have to be in it to win it.
Singer is your family store. We sell everything you need for your kitchen and more. Top brands and appliances. TVs, fridges, cookers. We make your life so easy. Just come in and see us. A wide range of furniture. Right here at Singer. Affordable beds and mattresses. Right here at Singer. Washing machines to make your laundry clean and fresh. Singer is a family store that gives you the best hire purchase deals. Right here at Singer. We'll outfit your home. Right here at Singer. The #1 family store. It's us with Singer.
Welcome back. On the international scene, the economic fallout of the Iran conflict is now being felt globally, with rising oil prices and travel costs impacting everyday life. Oil has surged to over $109 per barrel as tensions around the Strait of Hormuz intensify, creating uncertainty across global markets. While Asian markets show slight gains, investors remain cautious following threats against Iranian infrastructure. In the UK, travelers are already feeling the impact, as we hear in this report. Rising jet fuel costs, a weaker currency, and government travel advisories are forcing many to rethink their holiday plans.
Time of the year where families are deciding whether to go abroad for their holidays. They usually try and take the opportunity to try and get some extra sun, which you will not get here. But this year, some families are choosing to stay closer to home. Why? Well, the rising cost in energy, food, and mortgages caused by the war on Iran is also hitting holidays as well. And it's not just the flights, the hotels, even spending money abroad is costing so much more. So families are having to reconfigure what it is that they want to do this year and how to save a bit more money in a year which is already proving to be financially quite constraining.
We'd like to go away, but obviously we have not booked anything yet. And but probably if we're going to do it, it has to be over the next few days. But on the other hand, who knows, things can be resolved.
What's putting you off?
The flights, essentially, not only the price, but also getting to the actual time and then being cancelled for any unexpected reason.
There's an awful lot of uncertainty there. We'd be very sceptical to do anything until we know what way things are. You know, there's just so much uncertainty.
Are you thinking about taking a holiday abroad this year?
Probably not, no.
No, why not?
I think we're just with rising costs and uncertainty around, I think we'd probably explore more in the UK than abroad. Yep.
Staycation it is then for you?
Staycation, yeah, it is, yeah.
Now, it's a shift the travel industry is watching closely because the war on Iran has sent fuel prices surging, and it's weakened the pound as well. And there's also uncertainty about how far this crisis could go. So it seems for some that the staycation is back, not by choice, but by circumstance. But for many, the question will be not if they can take a break, but how far they literally can afford to go.
That's the news. Sports is just ahead with Triska Campbell. But before that, let's take a look at the local weather forecast.
The weather report sponsored by General Hardware.
Listen, the big hardware stores have been ripping off Vincentians for years with their high prices. They came General Hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood, and steel. And even with a sale, the General beats that too. So go on, compare prices, then come to General Hardware and save dollars every day. Because nobody beats the General. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnesville. Call 453-9000.
Present conditions partly cloudy and slightly hazy. Winds northeast at 13 kilometers per hour. Temperature 26.7 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity 81%. Barometric pressure 1013.9 millibars. 24-hour rainfall trace. Today's maximum temperature 30.2 degrees Celsius. Today's minimum temperature 24.6 degrees Celsius. Sunset 6:17 p.m. and sunrise will be at 5:56 a.m. The forecast, fair to occasionally cloudy, slightly hazy and breezy at times with a few isolated showers. And the synopsis, weak unstable conditions are affecting the islands.
The weather report was sponsored by General Hardware.
Good evening and welcome to the Evening Sports. I'm Triska Campbell. We heard that the Windward Island Volcanoes under 15 team were made to work for every single run by the Leeward side, determined to end on high. The hosts were anchored by an unbeaten half-century from Aidan Williams, who carried his bat for 51 not out and was supported by a gritty 32 from opener Deshaun James. However, the Windward's work in the field once again made the difference, with 3 runouts consistently breaking any threatening partnerships. Then Neon Davis once again stepped up with the ball, taking the last 3 wickets in quick succession to bowl the Leewards out for 137 in 42.5 overs. The Windward's perfect series chase of 138 began in some turbulent waters. The top order was rattled early, with the wickets falling to the likes of Ryan McCarran, Camry France, and Aidan Williams, 2 wickets each. Nick and Justin's vital counter-attack of 30 from 40 balls, a 4 and 4 fours and a 1-6, and Aaron Sinclair's resilient 20 of 63 balls was pivotal in avoiding a complete collapse. Ultimately, it was wicket-keeper Jovan Benjamin, who, joined by Caleb Charles, 6 not out, held the innings together with a mature 70 not out. The pair successfully overcame the target in the 39th over to secure a thrilling 2-wicket win. St. Vincent and the Grenadines' 2026 Curfew Games contingent did not pick up any medals at this year's competition. However, one new national record was set. The 2026 Curfew Games was held in Grenada from April 4th to the 6th. Jaheim Williams set a new national record in the under-20 boys decathlon, placing 8th with 5,183 points. Other performances of the Vincentian contingent at the just concluded 2026 Curfew Games are as follows. For the under-17 girls, Ariel Stevens placed 9th in the long jump and 12th in the high jump. Aya Stapleton placed 7th in the 800 meter after reaching the semi-finals and 13th in the 1500 meter. Jada Davis was 8th in the 3,000 meter, and Tashinique Francis was 13th in the shot put event. For the under-20 girls, Rain Brown reached the semi-finals to finish 6th in the 100-meter hurdles, while Kessian John finished 7th in the heptathlon. For the under-17 boys, Gerani Welcome finished 6th in the 200 meters, while Jeremiah Wright placed 6th in the 800 meter and 1500 meter. Kevante Polin finished the javelin event in 11th place, while Levante Nimlet finished 10th in the high jump and 11th in the long jump events. For the under-20 boys, Trevor Sullivan placed 12th in the high jump, while Isaiah Patterson had no mark, also competing in the high jump events. Javed Cato placed 6th in the long jump and 4th in the triple jump events. 5 games were played in the NBA on Monday night, April 6, 2026. New York Knicks defeated Atlanta Hawks 108-105. Orlando Magic got the better of Detroit Pistons 123-107. Cleveland Cavaliers outclassed Memphis Grizzlies 142-126, while San Antonio Spurs beat Philadelphia 76ers 115-102, and Denver Nuggets edged Portland Trail Blazers 137-132. That's how we end sports this evening. I'm Triska Campbell. We'll be right back to wrap things up.
Listen, the big hardware stores have been ripping off Vincentions for years with their high prices. They came General Hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices.
On Tuesday, April 7th, you can be a millionaire with a lotto jackpot of $1,040,000. Your dream vacation, a university degree, that new ride, your new house can all suddenly be within your reach. What a little lotto can do. $1,040,000. The lotto jackpot for Tuesday, April 7th. You have to be in it to win it.
Welcome back. Thank you, Triska, for bringing us the sports. Now for a second look at the headlines. Sailing week ends in SVG, but questions remain over local economic impact. ECCB warns about risks to the currency union from Middle East war. Oil prices surge to $109 per barrel. Iran conflict hits travel and holidays worldwide. And in sports, Windward's under-15 complete a flawless 5-0 series sweep in Rising Stars tournament with a nail-biting 2-wicket victory in the final match. Now for a recap of the local weather forecast. Fair to occasionally cloudy, slightly hazy and breezy at times with a few isolated showers. On behalf of all of us here at SVG-TV, thanks for viewing. I am Twyla Thompson, inviting you to visit our Facebook page for a recap of the news and daily headlines. Also check out SVG-TV News and 15 weekdays at 12:45 p.m. Again, thanks for viewing and enjoy the rest of your evening.
SVG's Heart and Soul. Magic 103.7, 91.5. Today's music, yesterday's hits.
24 karat magic in the